What's up, you guys? It's Layla Lynn, and I'm back with a new video. In this video, I want to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, Angel Massie. Angel kind of showed her hand last night for the second time, and the second time confirms that number one, she weaponizes her tears. We saw her do that when she flipped the script on Giselle, where one night she was fine with Giselle, she was hugging Giselle, and the next day she was crying and didn't want to hug her. And then we saw her do that last night when Jazzy was talking to her off camera and she was mean girl, like she was calling the other girl that they were speaking about a stringy hair hoe. But then when they were on camera discussing it, she weaponized her tears, she got all emotional and started crying. So Angel is kind of exposing herself on this show, so we're going to get into that in this video. But first, if you're watching, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'm Layla Lynn. I cover celebrity news, nostalgia, and a couple of the Housewives franchises. So if you like this type of content, make sure you subscribe to this channel. All right, you guys. So, what I want to talk about, we know that Angel weaponizes her tears. This is the second time we've seen her do it. But what I want to talk about is actually a couple episodes ago when they first got to Nevis, Angel mentioned that her husband, Bobby Massey, had sent her $5,000 spending money for her trip to Nevis. And I think she thought it was going to be like a flex, but it wasn't. Because it looked like those women were thinking like, why did he need to send you money? And if you look at the audience reaction on social media, you see people asking, why did he need to send you money? Why couldn't you just swipe your card? Why don't you already have a little access to the money? And so when you combine that with what she said last night about her being accused of stealing from Bobby, it's almost as if Bobby controls the money. Like it's almost as if there was a sliver of truth to the rumor that she allegedly stole from Bobby. And now let me say this because I did research that rumor and I don't see anybody talking about it. Like there's no source online, like no original sources on social media saying or accusing her of stealing from her soon to be husband. So it seems like something she brought to the public. She brought it to the forefront and she said on Watch What Happens Live, she brought it to the forefront because she thought that Jazzy had told Wendy about it. And she thought that's why Wendy asked her about it. But that being said, the fact still remains when you put two and two together, it's four. And when you put two and two together, it seems like her husband is the one that gives her access to the money. And there may be some distrust around money in their relationship. Y'all leave a comment, let me know what y'all think. And I wanted to get into some social media reactions to Angel on this show because it seems like Angel is rubbing people the wrong way. All right, so let's see what people are saying. This person said this has to be Angel this entire trip. And I think this is sadness. I think this is sadness, but we don't know if it's real sadness. Someone else said, list of folks I want gone next season. Top of the list, Angel, Kay, and Ashley. And I can agree with all of those. I thought Kay was going to be different, but she's not. Someone else said, Angel, huh? Somebody DM Jassy information about you. She brings it directly to you when cameras are down. Yet you still having an issue with Jazzy? Girl, this may not be the show for you. Because it's given she just wants to have an issue with someone. She wants to have conflict so she can be on the show. And you can tell she wanted to be Team Giselle and it's not working out for her because this woman that she doesn't know from a can of paint, she doesn't know Giselle, but she said that she expected her to be a big sister to her. So you can see she had this all figured out in her head and it's not going the way she wanted. Someone else said, Kay and Angel have no idea how easy the OG/vets have gone on them this trip. Giselle back in the day would have broken their souls. Oh my God. Someone else said, if Jazzy pulled Angel to the side and didn't expose this in front of the group, then what's the issue? To me, the issue is that Angel wants to be the center of attention. That's my opinion. I think she's used to being the big dog. She's used to being the center of attention, and she wants that whether it's good attention or not. And that's why she's willing to weaponize her tears to get that attention. Like when she started crying, everybody started checking on her. Like Giselle checked on her, Kay checked on her. Like it stopped the party. The party was about Jazzy, but it stopped the party and everybody checked on Angel. And that's what I don't want to see on this show. Someone else said, so Angel's upset with Jazzy about something they spoke about privately that happened 9 years ago, even though Angel brought it on camera. Okay, girl. And someone else, Real Legend, said Angel is an awful addition. She's the definition of a wet blanket, always looking miserable. We're 5 episodes in and she's barely laughed or even smiled. I get she's a new mom and her hormones are all over the place, but we don't want to see her stank face every week. Yeah. I feel like Real Housewives of Potomac has worked really hard to be lighthearted, like I said, to not be stank, like to get the stank faces off the screen. Let's just have fun. It's gonna be conflict, but it's gonna be light conflict, light shade. Not someone else, Cunty said, noticing Angel whole personality is being a wag. It's given that she should have been on that wag show. And what's up, Kempire? Kempire said, honestly, I believe Angel didn't use a filter in that picture from a long time ago. Look at Kempire with that filter. Actually, she did an interview with Bossip. I'm going to share that with you guys. Shout out to All True T. She talked about the picture they showed on the screen is not the picture she was talking about at the table or that Giselle was talking about.
Since she done brought her name up, Giselle. The tweaked photo of it all in Nevis. Now, first of all, there was a lot of talk about the picture, but I heard, was that the actual picture she was talking about?
Okay. No. So the photo that you see referenced on the show is not the photo that I was fiercely defending at that table, right? So I'm over here looking crazy like, girl, no, I didn't put a filter on that photo.
That's super duper me.
We're talking about at the table was actually a photo that our family photographer took. It was a photo of me and my daughter celebrating her first birthday. And they clipped it and they edited the photo so that you could just see my face. And I think it was a photo of me, Tia, and someone else that they thought was joining the franchise. So that was the photo that we were referring to. So you see me saying like, no, I didn't edit the photo. Like maybe I made it a little brighter because the editing was dark from the photographer, but that's about it. The photo that is referenced on the episode, it absolutely has a filter on it. I was 8 months pregnant in that photo. I was looking rough. You see me with my braids because I'm like, okay, we're getting into the final weeks before I give birth here. Like I wanted to look cute. Sue me. Everybody uses a photo. Everybody uses a little razzle dazzle to, tweak the things that they want to tweak on social media. And I'm not immune from it, right? So I'm not going to just sit up there and be like, no, the photo isn't edited. It just was the wrong photo that was shown. So to everybody being shady, that is the real deal.
One last thing about Giselle, and then we can move on to something else. But there was a comment you made where you said you kind of looked at her like a big sister, and social media kind of erupted like, well, what do you mean? Why would you think that? Giselle is known for being shady. So in your defense, why did you see her in that light?
Because she did not treat me that way up until this point in front of my face. Right? In front of my face, she was kind. I had met up with her in K. And we went to lunch and she was cool. She was fun. Of course she was shady. That's her brand. But towards me, she was cool. So I was like, okay, I have a sister who's younger than Giselle, but like in the same ballpark. And I just felt like perhaps this could be a bond and I could appreciate her for more than what people tend to say about her. I'm the person, I came into this experience with an open mind, a beginner's mind, an open heart. And so while I was warned that she's extremely messy, I came in giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
And you know what? That makes me feel like Bravo is the one body shaming her. Not just Giselle, but Bravo too. If the picture they showed was not the picture being discussed, but instead was a picture of her pregnant, everybody knows like when you're pregnant, like you gain weight, your face is going to be fuller. So that was shady of Bravo to show one of her pregnant photos and say that that's the one she photoshopped. Y'all leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this whole situation of Angel on the show. As always, thanks for watching. Now, if you made it this far to the end of the video, then I think you like my content. So make sure you subscribe and check out my channel. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel. Check out my playlist and my podcast, and I assure you, you will like more of my content.